Hi, welcome to Wildflowers Nature School. I'm going to show you around and tell you a little bit about our program. You've just arrived in the parking lot. The sign-in is usually there by the chair that gives a little rain cover. And then you come in the school entrance here. You have a little redwood grove for parents to hang out waiting for their kids at the end of the day. And then we come into the schoolyard. Usually Farmer Buzz has this completely planted out with beans and pumpkins. We have a big harvest festival in the fall, and the kids help plant all the seeds, and Farmer Buzz is always scooping them up and saying, "Want to help in the garden?" Yeah. Over here we have our chicken coop. We don't have any chickens right now, but in the spring we plan on getting some chicks, or maybe some baby turkeys or some baby bunnies. The coop was made out of wattle and daub. You could probably zoom in on that and see parents. We have amazing community work days. Parents gathered the willow from the property, wove it, made the cob, and chickens were always a big part of the place here, but we're ready for some new animals. Maybe we'll get turkeys, or maybe bunnies. A lot of times we have gather acorns from our giant oak, and we have many more on the property. We do a lot of primitive skills like grinding acorns and making things out of willow, such as our willow fort. Our willow fort is been a picnic area during our closure time during COVID, but this is also where we do our nap time, where we've got a nice blanket in there, and we bring out stuffies, and I read lots of stories. Sometimes I spin them, and we also in the morning sometimes have dress ups in here, and it's a dress up corner. So the Willow Fort is does a lot of things. I want to thank Sebastopol Hardware, who donated materials for our sink. We have hot water outside for their little hands not to get so cold washing hands. Our sandbox, I know it looks crazy, but it is sturdy. Our teacher shed. So when the kids come in the morning, parents walk them over here, and they each have a little cubby with their name on it, and they put their stuff in it, hang up their coat, and then we often will have an art project at the table that they can join in. Sometimes they just want to go, run with their friends. They can't wait to see them. And other times they're not really sure what to do when they get here, and it's nice to have some warm Play-Doh or a project, and then they can sit and know what to do. So this is Whip or Snap. We have matching kitties, and they follow us all around, and the kids love the kitties. We also have a woodworking bench over here, and what we call the bouncy tree. The kids spend a lot of time in the forest here. It's definitely part of the program. We also harvest bay nuts, and all the kids harvest the buckeyes, but they know they can't eat them, but what they do with them is pretty amazing, with all kinds of manners of play. Here's our bouncy tree. Sometimes the kids will just line up on this and bounce. And I'll show you where we eat lunch over here. And you know, it's amazing, the view here is not lost on the kids. They get it, and the bird watching is amazing. I remember one time we're having circle, and the parents were visiting for some reason that day, and one of the kids jumps up and says, "Hawk alarm, hawk alarm." And the parents are like, "What, hawk alarm?" And they said, "Yeah, there's gonna be a hawk here soon. You hear the red-winged blackbirds letting us know that there's a hawk coming?" And sure enough, it was like 3 minutes later, there goes that hawk. And so the kids get it. They get, we talk about sense of place, you know. Sometimes we do field trips, like maybe over to Hallberg's butterfly farm on the other side, or we do field trips out into the wild out there because the landowner there gives us permission. And so they can look out and go, "Yeah, that's where we were. Remember, we saw that deer." So this is where we eat lunch here. I just put the chairs up on the table, but there's the lunch table. We've got swings. And this under here is a cob oven. Not gonna uncover it for the tour, but because in the winter it's got to be covered. But we do a lot of things with cob. I just love it. We just spread out a tarp, sand, straw, and clay, water, stomp it, make little balls, and we've got a little cob frog over there, a cob butterfly over there, benches. So I always say there's like one level of magic when you go out of the house, but when you go out of the fenced area, then there's another level of magic. And if you go out into the wildland, even another. We've seen a skunk family with the mother and the 3 little babies. We've seen fox, we've seen raccoon dens. We've scared deer out of the forest and seen where they lay down. And so welcome to the magical wild out here. These little oak trees were actually planted by children when the school first started in 2008. We have 38 apple trees, so processing apples is a big thing here. We do have a big press. We have a harvest festival in the fall, but we make juice just part of class sometimes, and they love churning it and putting the apples in the hopper. We have a perfect preschool sized forest. It's just a little nature trail, starts here, and we'll see where it ends over there. Kids planted these redwood trees too. We've been open since 2008. We closed in the pandemic, but we're opening back up. I love that log. They do so many crazy things with that log. It can be a bus, or they can be little slugs living on it. We crossed the bridge that parents made at a community work day. We used to have a swing from this tree when we had a lower branch. I just might have to add one back in. That's a pretty special tree. That tree and this oak tree, we've found owl pellets at the bottom. This is what's left of one of the forts the kids in the summer make. We have older kids in the summer, and but sometimes with the preschoolers we'll make forts too, and I teach them. This is a debris shelter, and it's surprising how many kids you read about sometimes that have gone into survival mode from what they remembered learning. So if you go through over there, you see that gate. That is where the property ends. And the landowner back here, he says just text him. He usually says, yeah, that's great. Bring the kids out. It's 60 acres of wild land, and it's just incredible back there. There's a big Thule area that in the late fall, sometimes we go out there and we call it the Thule trampoline because it's so bouncy. Let's see what magic is out there. Sunset, or as I tell the children, edge time. Look at all the golden crown sparrows leaping up as we enter. They are all letting the other birds know, and the fox know, and the coyotes know. They're letting them all know that we're here. And so we teach the kids how to listen to those birds and figure out what they're saying. They're alarming right now. It's pretty special here. All the robins are getting into evening mode. What do you hear? Running water? Yep. Here's our little creek. It's a perfect preschool-sized creek. They can get in it with their boots, they can make dams. We've found amazing arrowheads here. One time we found an arrowhead so perfect, I said, no, we can't keep this. This land was Pomo, and I called an elder that I know and told him, and he said, no, the arrowhead found the boy, and he wanted to come out and bless it though, and he came out and had a whole ceremony about how the boy would care for the arrowhead. It's really beautiful. Sometimes we pretend to fish. Now normally we can walk down in there and make it a circle, but it's been one heck of a winter, so we got a little bit of stewardship to do on the land. We teach the kids that word, and we do stewardship together. Matter of fact, they love it. It's amazing because you get in the creek and you cut branches or snap them. It's easier to snap them when you're little. Lot of hide and seek. Hide and seek is one of the most critical nature education tools because it's the one time where you can be in the forest truly pretending to be an animal. Because when you're in this, you can look out and see what's coming, but we may not see you. And that way, and that's what all the animals are doing right now. They all know we're here. They're watching us. It also trains their eye. We do a form called eagle eye sometimes, where the seeker can't move, and the hiders are visible, and he has to be able to see them from where he stands. So there's a lot of variations on hide and seek. So we're heading over to the campfire area, and we do couple of events there each year with the families. And we come down once in a while on a cold day and start a little fire with the kids. Teach them how to build a fire, how to be safe around a fire. So this area over here, we'll gather pine branches and put them all in a spiral. And the children, this is our winter solstice celebration. And the children will each carry an apple with a candle in it around the spiral while some quiet guitars going. It's very ceremonial, welcoming in the winter, going into the dark of the winter, and the kids get it. It's really a beautiful celebration. And then we have a potluck and singing around the fire. Sometimes in June we do an end of the year camp out. I'm not sure whether we'll be doing that or not, but that's been one of our special things, because all the families can really get to know the land, and the kids, it's great how the kids are like introducing the land to the parents. It's like, Mom and Dad, come see where my favorite hiding place is. Or remember I told you about that raccoon den? Come see. Or showing parents the tracks. And they're so proud of their other home, which this is by June. Down there we have a birding platform. It looks like a play structure, but it's up, it's so that we can climb up and watch the red-winged blackbirds nesting in the spring. And so much else that we can see from there. So the kids love to climb up in there. And right down in there is where that nature trail comes out. We also have a couple little nooks and crannies that we can do on hot days, or we can be out in the forest. There's a little circle down there we call the green room, and over there we call that the oak room, and we can be outside with it. So I think that wraps up our tour. Thanks for coming, and I hope that you apply to Wildflowers Nature School and become part of the Wildflowers family. Your family forever when you're in Wildflowers. We have alumni who are 18 now and still get together at our alumni get-togethers, and it's all very special. I hope you'll join us. Thank you.